Hello, everyone. My name's Adam Sobray, and I'm with a group called the Aurora Research Institute. And we're working on putting the dashboards together for your FaCES projects. And I just wanted to walk you through a little bit of an introduction to Tableau, where you can find the reader software, and a little bit about how you can navigate some of the dashboard features. So what I have here pulled up first is just where you can locate this free reader software. You do need this specific software to open up the dashboards and utilize all of their features. So what I have here is just a quick Google search for Tableau Reader. It's what they call their free viewer software. And you can see this is the link right here. So Tableau Reader, Tableau Software, tableau.com. So if you click on that, it takes you to this page here, and you can see front and center is your link to download the free reader software. Again, no charge for the viewer software. An interesting aside, I guess, perhaps, is that if you happen to be a student or perhaps have a student working for you, you can get a free 1-year license to the full desktop version, which has all of the different building capabilities for free. So it's a free 1-year software for any students, and you can just Google Tableau student version will take you right to that. So once you download the software, and I guess another thing that I can add at this point is Tableau is fairly sensitive to having the most updated version of the software. So if a dashboard is created in the newest version and yours may be outdated, it may not open that particular file. So however, if you're downloading this right now, of course you're going to have the most up-to-date software, but just something to keep kind of in the back of your minds. So once you have the software downloaded, what you will be receiving is what Tableau calls a packaged workbook file. So Tableau has their normal workbook files, and the way those function is that they link to some local data source. However, since we won't have the capability to be drawing from the same data source, at least not in the same location, Tableau has what it calls its package software files, and that's what you'll be receiving. And it essentially packages the dashboard and the data file together. So just by sharing that single one file, you have the dashboard template as well as the data to fill it as well. So here I've opened what I've created here. This is just as you can see, a mock dashboard, just some data I just made up to illustrate some of these various features here. So when you open it up, you see you have a number of different things going on here that I'll draw your attention to. So if you go along the top here, so you see you have the option to print this to a PDF. That may be useful for some of you if you're going to be doing some printing or some sharing to people who maybe don't have the Tableau Reader software. You can also save these as an image, perhaps that's something that you may be interested in doing. And then this window option up here is sort of the navigation of the package workbook. So you see all of the different options here, and the way this kind of works and the way these are sort of put together is that you create the individual charts one at a time, and then you kind of piece them all together into the overall dashboard. So what we're seeing here across the bottom or in this Windows tab up here are each of the individual charts that were created. And then you can see down here at the bottom where it says dashboard 1, then that's, as the name implies, is your dashboard. So I'm not sure if there would be really any specific reason to be looking at the individual charts because they all appear on the dashboard, but that's what's kind of going on along the bottom here. So you can see these little small arrows kind of near your lowest right-hand corner. That's to kind of navigate you across, because you can see we have quite a volume of charts that we're looking at here. So that'll kind of get you across to everything. Or again, you can navigate up here and just jump right to the dashboard. So I'd assume this is where you're going to be spending the vast majority, if not all of your time in the dashboard. So let's just kind of walk through. I think some of these charts are going to be a little bit more self-explanatory than others, but we'll walk through each of them just to make sure we're all on sort of the same page here. So, first and foremost, we have total number of clients screened. And so the way we calculated this is we looked at the number of unique individuals that received a screening. So several of the sites provided multiple screenings or perhaps multiple rows of data would be another way to think of it for an individual client. So this is just going to be your number of unique clients that we saw in the data set. So then with the age, again, this one's probably pretty self-explanatory. So we just have the age broken down into this range. And then what we're seeing here with the height of the bar and these numbers that you're seeing above the bar is just the number of clients within that age range that's listed across the bottom here. So gender identity, again, fairly self-explanatory, just number of clients that fell into each of those categories. Same with ethnicity as well. Race, again, another probably pretty self-explanatory chart. Same with sexual orientation and smoking status. Diagnosis as well. So we have a number of different categories of diagnosis that we're interested in identifying for the purposes of this dashboard. So with the diagnosis that you provided, we just counted up how many fell into each of these categories. And one thing to note here is that Tableau has a way of only really showing what there's data for. So there may be a number more or less categories for each of these charts, depending on the number of categories that are being used up in your data set. So A1C. So with this one, with this mock data here, we don't have really any variability in the A1C, but what we used are some standards that we've used in the past for normal, pre-diabetic, and diabetic ranges of A1C. So you may see that breakout on your individual chart if you have people in those different categories for their A1C levels. We used a 4-category breakout for BMI. So this one you can see just has normal, overweight, and obese categories. If you have people with a BMI less than 18.5, that will show up then as an underweight category as well. So asthma diagnosis, was that indicated in the data? The PHQ-9, we use this scoring system, the 0, 4, 5, 9, 10, 14, 15, 19, and 20 plus, broken out number of clients falling to each of those categories. So this chart here then draws from the individual data that you provided for each of the screening questions and then converting that into the risk category indicated by the S2BI screener then. And again, number of clients falling into each of those categories. So the following two charts, these may be a little bit trickier. So let's kind of slowly walk through what this is showing us here. So one of the things we wanted to look at was how the indication of the screening instrument corresponded to the needs for brief intervention or referral to treatment identified by the provider. So again, if you were providing each of those pieces of information, we were trying to illustrate both of them in each of these two charts here. So the first thing that we're looking at here, if we're looking across the bottom, this yes, no, these were the indications from the screening instrument itself. So the screening instrument itself, in this case, since we're looking at BI, for this one client, did not indicate the need for a brief intervention. And for these 6 clients here, the screening instrument did indicate a need for a brief intervention. And what the colors up here are doing, so this color code here corresponds to both of these charts. So what the color coding then does is tells us what did the provider say in terms of the client's need. So we see that within the clients that the screener said yes, they need a brief intervention. We have 5 of those 6. The provider also said yes. However, one of those 6 people, we see that discrepancy. So for this one person here, the screener said yes, but the provider said no. And the same exact thing basically is being shown on this chart here, but instead of need for brief intervention, it's need for referral to treatment. So along the bottom here, we're looking at what did the screener say, And then with the colors, we're looking at what did the provider say. So again, if you provided both of those fields, we combine them together into each of these charts here. So with the screening and provider agreement, what we're looking at is sort of the combination of these two things here. So separately, we're looking at, did the screener and the provider both indicate a need for BI, or they both indicate no need? And then the same thing for referral to treatment. Did the screener indicate a need or no need? And did the provider essentially agree with that as well? So it would have taken agreement on both need or no need for BI and need or no need for referral to treatment in order to have this sort of total agreement here. So that's what we're trying to capture in this particular chart here. So moving down a little bit, if you provided craft data, we broke out, again, just number of clients with each of the different scores here on the craft instrument. Intervention delivered. So again, for most of these, as you're seeing, we're just looking at number of clients who are in each of these categories. Same day intervention, if you were providing that field, that's just totaling up number of clients who received that same day intervention. Average days from screening to brief intervention. So if you provided the dates associated with the brief intervention, those as long as looking at whether or not the intervention was the same date, which of course would be 0 days later, combining these together to look at average days from screening to brief intervention. And again, I'll sort of hasten to add here again that this is sort of fabricated data. So I apologize for any perhaps discrepancies here, because we're looking at all same day interventions, but we're showing 1 day from referral to treatment, and that's just a product of the fabricated data that we're working with here. So I apologize for that. And then number of brief interventions, again, if you provided that field for number of brief interventions, we're just, again, totaling up how many clients received each number. If you provided data that you have a documented any of these intervention change plan, intervention follow-up plan, or intervention contingency plan, these three charts are just going to show the number of documented or reported documented change plan, follow-up plan, and contingency plans. So this next one here, we kind of have a lot going on. So we're looking at referral type and then attendance for within those referral types. So along the bottom here where we have external and internal, we're looking at that was the referral type. Was it an external referral or was it an internal referral? And then the colors indicate whether or not that referral was then attended by the client. And that's differentiated by the different colors here. So we can see the red here is that it was an internal referral. This box right here is yes, they attended that. The orange here is the referral was made but was not attended by the client. And then this blue here is indicating that the follow-up information is not available. And last but not least, we're looking here, again, similar to what we're showing with these three charts here. We're looking at referral follow-up plan, referral contingency plan, and referral plan. And this is just going to be showing the number documented of each of these three things. And I would also like to show here, and I sort of intentionally left this one blank here, is that you may see some or perhaps even a number of different instances on your dashboard where you'll have a title here, but it'll be showing nothing at all. And what that's indicating is that the data just wasn't there in order to calculate these. So that would explain why, we have this example here, or on your dashboard you may see again a title but no chart. So I hope that was helpful in helping you understand what you're seeing here. And then one last thing here, which I think is probably the most important feature here, is that for age, gender, ethnicity, race, and sexual orientation, you have the ability to click on the individual bars and filter out just those people. So let's say I only want to look at age. I can click on people that are 18 to 21, and it'll filter out all of the other charts to just show those 4 people. And then I click on that bar again, and now I have everyone back. And you can do that as number of combinations. I can click on this bar, and I can only look at the men that are 18 to 21. And so you can piece your data pretty far down that way. So have fun playing around with this, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.